My name's Joel. I'm a sound re-recording mixer. I mix sound for TV and film. I've been doing that for the past 17 years. Today, I'm inviting you behind the scenes to see what a day in the life of a sound re-recording mixer looks like. It's day one of a new mix, and today we are working on a cool, fun police procedural. Maybe we'll tell you at the end, but we're on the stage right now. We're prepping. It's day one. So the first thing that is important is to always have a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee is good. I'm gonna go set up over there. My colleague's gonna be on this side mixing the dialogue and the music, and I'll be mixing some sound effects today. So I'm gonna be busy. It's a really busy day. Lots of stuff to get through. I start with my backgrounds and then I go into my sound effects eventually. So I'll show you a little bit of the workflow, but I won't do a lot of talking, but I just wanted to show you kind of a day in the life of what a re-recording mixer does. And it's a lot of fun. You know, first of all, the coffee's great, but the next best thing is we don't have a dress code. So I'm just in this is actually my Interior Chinatown members only jacket, which is cool. But let's dive in to some mixing today. First thing I do is I start with pre-dubbing my backgrounds and my Foley. In film, pre-dubs can take days or even a week, but in episodic TV, we're sort of flying. So we pre-dub in just a couple of hours with so many different tracks. I need to know exactly what I'm dealing with. So what I do is I try to go through every single background track. I listen to each one individually. I set the levels. While I'm in preview, then I go ahead and write automation to that particular scene. Once I'm done with that, I go back and I create movement with my tracks for each scene. Never just set and forget your volume automation, whether it's like airs or insects, distant traffic, or walla. There should definitely always be a little subtle movement to kind of keep your scene alive. If I do my job right, the world that we're building collectively will feel very seamless and very real. So just finished my backgrounds. Aaron is doing his stuff over here. See, Aaron's over there. So what's up? Okay, he's doing his things. We're gonna go outside. We're gonna leave him alone. We don't want to mess with him. We'll talk backgrounds. Okay. So I just finished the backgrounds. It took me about 2 hours, which is not that bad, you know. Let's have a seat. So Aaron's gonna go through and now kind of take care of his ADR. And really the way we're working together on this project is I will go through all my backgrounds Foley, have it done. Then he will kind of go through his dialogue, level it, get his ins and outs of his music, of his score. Then he'll go through, get his ADR, and then what we'll do is after he kind of has all the pieces in, we'll start from the beginning with actually right now what I'll do is I'll go back in there after I get some coffee, more coffee, and I'll start with the effects. And I'll kind of get through them as fast as I can. Then we'll start together and start and stop. And we'll just kind of go through the whole show. And by the end of the day, this first day, we will have a solid mix pass together. And we do share the same speakers. That's something that's unique. Not a lot of people do that. Well, actually a lot of people do, but there are some folks who like to use headphones when they mix, and I do not like that. I will not subscribe to headphone mixing. I just won't do it. So coffee time, then back to work. Ooh, hot, good coffee. Good stuff. Coffee's in hand. Now it's time to get back to work. It's time to tackle my hard effects. Now this is where doors need to feel right, all the gunshots need to have impacts, vehicles, they gotta sound real, they gotta be powerful. So just like the backgrounds, I go through every single sound effect, I listen to what I have, and I adjust the levels as I need. If something feels off, especially in the sound design, I'll go into these individual tracks and I'll tweak them. Here's a quick tip. I'm going through my sound effects and I gotta share this awesome tip that I learned mixing alongside a really awesome mixer, happens to be the sound governor as of the recording of this video for the Academy, Mr. Gary Bourgeois. Okay, you see we have a couple tracks of Fireplace here. Okay, so this is a pro tip right here. Let me solo these. Okay, you hear that? Snap, crackle, pop, right? Okay, Every once in a while, you're gonna get these transients that poke out, and they're gonna snap, right? And I'll never forget, let me just tell you real quickly. Gary told me, Joel, you gotta get that. This is what I want you to do. He taught me how to get a limiter, just get a limiter and just squash the heck out of it, right? Like -16, -20, so that those pops don't all of a sudden jump out. Because sometimes, when we're cutting, people, our sound effects editors are cutting away, they'll grab a fire track, Fireplace, Crackle, put it on there, and maybe they don't have the time to go through and hear, oh, there's a big snap there. Getting that limiter is gonna squash it, so it's gonna make sure that you can go through the scene and not everything that, pops out. So I'm gonna grab I'll just show you really quickly here. I'm just gonna grab like the Pro limiter here, and I'm already done here, but you just at a -16, okay, boom, on the threshold, and I already have it there, a -16 on the ceiling, okay? And then I'll go ahead and just apply it. I went ahead and I made a copy down here. I always like to make a copy. And then I'll hit render, and it's gonna render out, and then I'll do the same thing to those, and now these tracks are gonna go by, and nothing's gonna pop out, nothing's gonna stand out. It's all gonna kind of just stay there. That's a real pro tip. So I'm glad you're coming to work with me today so that you can learn stuff like that, because that's the stuff that you only really learn when you're sitting alongside, somebody who really knows what they're talking about. This is also where I'm gonna check the guide track, which is what the picture editors and the showrunners are used to working with for weeks. They'll go ahead and cut in temp sound effects, temp music, so they're used to hearing them a certain way. And my job is to enhance what's there while making sure we're not missing anything important. All right, so that's a wrap on my pass. It's lunchtime, so usually we take an hour break. That's what the union allows us. We get 1 hour break. And, every once in a while, if we have to go through and work through our lunch, the clients will bring in a lunch and we'll just take a half-hour lunch. But we got through it, mission accomplished, got through my pre-dub, all my effects, my backgrounds, my Foley, and my sound effects are pre-dubbed now. So now, after lunch, we'll get together and we will mix the whole entire episode from the beginning to the end, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. I will trade off. I'll grab something, and then we like the scene, we'll move on to the next scene, and we'll start and stop as many times as we need to. And that's the great thing about re-recording mixing, is that it's not live mixing. Live mixing is hard. Production mixers, I see you, you're awesome. Re-recording mixing, we can start and stop and re-record things. And we're not technically re-recording yet. We'll get to that eventually when we get to this guy on day 2 and day 3. We will print that and we will technically be re-recording and, laying it down, going back, re-recording the 6-track, 2-track, all the stems as we go. But what an awesome time. I have to fly through this stuff on day 1s. So can't get too picky, but you want to get everything. And then this next pass as we go, we'll get the fine brushes out. So, all right, lunchtime, here we go. Okay, lunch is over, and now we marry up and we start from the beginning of the episode and go scene by scene. We literally start and stop and grab whatever we need. If I need to adjust some sound effects, if my mixing partner needs to work on a dialogue line or raise the music, he takes care of that. And then we continue until the next thing bumps us and we need to stop. We'll rewind, fix, and move forward. Once we get to the end, we're done for the day. Of course, throughout the time, we do take breaks every now and then. Every once in a while, you gotta have a coffee break. So that's what we do. We're almost through the show. We're gonna get there. A lot of fun. But coffee breaks are cool. And just like that, we're all done. So we finished our pass. We're pretty much in the pocket. This allows us to now get ready for some more notes tomorrow, and we'll go through the same process. We'll just make it better and better and better.
Better and better and better.
Better and better and better. And then we'll prep. Producers will watch it tomorrow. We'll get notes, and it'll be or not. Aaron thinks maybe not, but that's the process.
Actually, the editors will watch it.
The editors will watch it. Tell them,
This is maybe tomorrow night they'll watch it.
Maybe they'll watch it tomorrow night, and then
We'll watch it.
We'll watch it
3 more times tomorrow. Though.
3 more times tomorrow. 3 more times. It's a lot of times, which is good. You get to watch it a lot of times to pick up notes, and we have a phrase: to watch it to change it. No, well, that's for our producers, but we get notes. We always try to make it better.
We try to make it better.
Yes, all the time. Always try. And
then we give up. We retire.
We retire, and we're done for the day. And then you watch it on TV. So there it is. Day in the life of mixing some TV. Yeah. So that was fun. That's sort of a little bit of the process, a little glimpse into what it looks like to being a re-recorded mixer, the day in the life of being a re-recorded mixer. Thanks again for checking out the video, friends. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, and there's been a lot of new visitors here, I'm telling you, it's been so cool to see you guys comment and to watch the videos. I really appreciate your support, and as a result, I believe what's happened is YouTube is showing these videos more and more to a lot more people, being recommended, so I'm very, very grateful. But still 65% of the viewers are new viewers, and they're not subscribed to the channel. So if you are interested and have a passion and a desire for post-production sound, we talk about everything here. Yes, we talk about some of the techniques. We also talk about things we don't talk about a lot. You know, the soft skills. You know, it's like, how do you land a job? You know, how do you navigate the industry? So if that's you and you're interested, do me a favor and do yourself a favor. Click that subscribe button. This way you can be notified anytime I have a new video that comes out. You know, that little bell, you just click that and it goes ding, and it'll let you know. So thanks again for being here, friends. I have a couple of videos over here for you to go check out, especially if you're new here. So I'll see you over there in those videos, or I'll see you in next week's episode.